In the solo form, you're balancing yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
You're trying to take care of all of the internal conflict. And then, once you get good at that, then you engage the other person and you try to take the conflict out of the fight.
Right.
Okay, so I can brace and I can look for the wall to knock down. Right. Or I can build up a base like I'm building a wall to keep the migrating birds out of the country. It's not going to work. We got to stop all those foreign fish from getting into our oceans. Yeah, you can't do it. It's not a closed system. So you have to take your balance, that harmony, that non-fighting that you do, theoretically, and then continue that non-fighting to include the other person. And the other person's fighting will beat them. It will defeat them. It's, people talk about how powerful Mike Tyson's punches are.
They're pretty goddamn powerful.
But if you watch him, he seems to be moving really fast. And he is moving really fast. His footwork is ducking that sort of in and out, up and down.
Peekaboo style, man.
Peekaboo style, is that what it's called?
Yeah, because it's like this.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. But what happens is if you watch, I mean, it's like a magic trick, right? Magic is really, there's all the physical technique in magic. Okay. There's all the handwork, or there's all the subtle technique, but what's really happening is a communication between the magician's mind and your mind. So part of what Mike Tyson's punching is the punching, the physical punching, the speed, the power, the conditioning, and the biomechanics, which really look a lot like what we're talking about with Class 1 and Class 2 levers. Right?
Really?
He doesn't do this with his arm. They always look to me like they're in this shape.
Nice.
Right? They're always right here. It's just on the fulcrum, that central equilibrium. You choose where the fulcrum is going to be. So I put the central equilibrium here. That's the fulcrum there. If I put it over here, then it's a Class 3 lever.
So, in sum, Mike Tyson does Tai Chi.
Okay. Here's the thing. Tai Chi is the supreme ultimate, whatever.
Boxing.
It's based on the philosophy of the way the universe works. And people who are good at anything, that's what they're doing. If somebody's good at something, let's call it Tai Chi. Yeah, they're using Tai Chi principles.
It's funny.
And you'll hear
He's
that.
One of us.
Exactly. You'll hear that every time you see somebody doing something really well. You go, oh, look, that's Tai Chi. You wish it was Tai Chi. You wish you could do that. You wish your Tai Chi was as good as Mike Tyson's boxing.
I'm still in it.
There you go. Everything fell apart.
Yeah.
And then you just pour it into the ground. See, there, I gave it to you, right?
Yeah, you did.
I'm hanging on you. There you go. That's it. But the successful part was everything before you actually pushed me.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, the thing that won the fight was not the push.
Yeah.
It was the falling apart right there.
Yeah.
There, the pouring into the ground. There, the fight's over.
Yeah, it's true.
Now, then you started doing stuff. So once you let that go, then just relax. No, don't do anything.
No,
Relax.
okay.
Just connect to the ground.
Yep.
Okay, find the fulcrum. There we go. There. See, if I do this with my arm, as soon as I start to do stuff with my arm, you've got me. Right? As soon as I take my arm out of the picture and I put you back in the ground, okay?
I feel it in the calf.
Yeah, there you go. So there. See?
Oh, yeah. Hanging on the right.
Right here. And there. People say, oh, he just did that. That threw him. No, that's not what threw you.
No.
This is what threw you.
Yeah.
So that's why Tai Chi looks fake, because people misunderstand what is doing the trick, which is largely because of the way that people present it. The power of Qi or whatever. People just couch it in terminology that doesn't make any sense and it sounds mysterious.
Some of the words sound pretty cool.
Oh yeah, they do, but they don't mean what they're used in the wrong context. So I'm using my Qi. Well, you're using your Qi to exist in the universe. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's true. Qigong is a very...
Everything else is mathematically measurable. So once you are existing, once you are a phenomenal thing, don't talk about energy anymore. It's shapes and levers and the things that matter.
Well,
if you want to talk about Qi, then you have to stop existing.
right.
and then you have some context for it.
But the thing is, people say words like energy, but there's like words for energy. Like you can measure joules, you can measure calories, you can measure, you know, like.
Yeah.
So just saying, oh, well, it's energy.
Yeah. Yeah. So is
well, what kind? Kinetic, physical? Like.
And a lot of time when people talk about chi, talk about energy, they're talking about proprioception. They're just saying, I'm aware of what's going on.
Yeah, I love
Right?
that word, proprioception.
I feel my chi. Well, you don't feel your chi. Chi is what allows you to feel.
Or a conscious movement.
But this is a problem with physics, right?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, they defined the universe as being made up of matter and energy. And they couldn't define either of them. Right? Energy was defined as the ability to do work. And that's not a definition, it's a job description. Matter does not really exist, and energy is defined by what it does. And so in the Tai Chi perspective, the universe is made up of this and not this.
Right.
Okay, it's just the fundamental duality. The phenomenal universe consists of yin and yang. And that's all we talk about, and all the mathematics is based on the phenomenal universe. The clue should have been when people realized that there was no ether, and that, meaning no, not the gas, I mean the ether, that the medium that light was supposed to travel through. From my perspective, energy is space.
Oh, okay. Energy is space.
Yeah.
Okay.
So energy is basically the difference between one thing and another. And so basically the universe is made up of the difference between things and the things that are different.
Yes.
Okay, so that's basically yin and yang. So you exist relative to something else by designation. So we have what we might call electromagnetism and gravity. And electromagnetism is the space between things, and gravity is the non-space between things. So if you move forward in time, then you have increase in space. And if you go backward in time, you have a decrease in space. So gravity slows time down and eventually reverses it. And
yeah, it's true, eh?
yeah. I'm on my toes. I'm literally on my toes, leaning on you like this.
Okay.
And you are trying to create space.
Right.
Just be gravity instead. Don't try to be different from me.
Okay.
Just pour yourself into the ground and forget about fighting me. Forget about fighting me. Stop fighting. There you go.
Okay, cool. I get it. Because like your opponent isn't going to be perfectly balanced in principle, so you'll always be able to tip them one way or another.
Right. Most people are not seeking balance. Right? They're seeking conflict.
Right.
And that's how you destroy a society and a human being. Right? You just say, oh look, let's get them fighting themselves. That's right? Politics nowadays is all just social media filter bubbles, and the same on both sides. Right? So people are going to extremes, and they're thinking with their hats instead of their heads. Happens in martial arts all the time, where people are so devoted to a style that they won't do a technique from another style.
Well, that's
they say, oh, that's just wrestling, that's not Tai Chi. So he spent weeks trying to make this ineffective technique work, even after proving that it didn't work.
But I guess you want to prove that your style is the best, right? I mean, like...
yeah, and you don't want to be an idiot, right?
So if you had a student who, Tai Chi wasn't for them and karate was, or whatever, you tell them to do karate.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, I'll send people down the street, no problem. And not just because I don't like them. People I like, people I wish could be my students. I said, I really wish that you could study with me, but this really isn't for you. You should go and do.
You have potential, but not here.
Yeah, maybe come back after you get a blue belt in another style.
Yeah, I can
then
see
come
that.
back here. Then maybe you'll have the context for this sort of thing.
That's true.
Right?
You said it's the accent, not the language.
That's true. What did I hear today? There was a guy talking about magic, and he was saying, when magicians have this term, who has the real work on this? Meaning,
who has the real work? What does that mean?
Meaning not who invented the technique, not who understands it, but who can make it. Who can take the technique and present it in a way that actually communicates the expression.
Right.
So who has the real work on Tai Chi? Meaning, who can do Tai Chi and actually make it work?
Yeah, okay.
And it can actually take it into the ring with other styles and with the real fighters, and can transcend the limitations of the style.
Is it combat ready?
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Is it performance ready is what we would say in the theater.
Yeah, in music, lots of people can play a sad song, but maybe the person who wrote the sad song and the first person to record it, maybe they are not the person to perform it.
Right.
Right? Because there's a big difference between playing a sad song and playing a song that makes you sad. And the person who has the real work is the person who...
Relax. Ah!